Welcome to our Lakers news portal.
Let's get started.
Could a Lakers championship dreams hinge not on a flashy superstar acquisition, but on rescuing a forgotten defensive monster from Portland's bench who could transform their interior defense overnight? Let me paint you a picture of what might be the smartest, most under-the-radar move the Lakers could make this season. While everyone's obsessing over blockbuster trades for Giannis Antetokounmpo or Herbert Jones, while the headlines scream about super team formations and massive roster overhauls, there's acquire opportunities sitting in Portland that could actually be more impactful than any of those splashy moves. His name is Robert Williams III, affectionately known as Time Lord, and he represents exactly the type of high-upside, low-cost gamble that separates championship teams from pretenders. According to a tactical analysis published this week in December 2025, Rob Pelinka has identified Williams as the final puzzle piece for a Lakers team that's built a historic offense around Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Deandre Ayton, but still has glaring defensive vulnerabilities. And the best part? The proposed trade package wouldn't require gutting the roster or sacrificing future first-round picks. We're talking about Dalton Knecht and Gabe Vincent, plus a second-round pick, in exchange for one of the most feared rim protectors in the NBA when healthy. This is what's called a classic buy low opportunity. Williams has been battling injuries. He's become expendable in Portland due to the emergence of rookie Donovan Clingan. His value is depressed. His availability is uncertain. But for a Lakers team that's trying to win a championship right now, that's not a red flag. That's an opportunity to acquire all defensive team caliber talent without paying full price. Let me break down exactly why Robert Williams III could be the difference between the Lakers being a good regular season team and an actual championship contender. Starting with what makes him so special when he's on the court. Robert Williams is not your typical center. He's not a back-to-the-basket post player. He's not a floor spacing shooter. What he is, quite simply, is an athletic event. He's a 7-footer who moves like a guard, jumps like he's spring-loaded, and has the timing and instincts to be an absolute nightmare for opposing offenses. Even in limited minutes this season, playing just 17.6 minutes per game, Williams is averaging 1.7 blocks. But blocks are just the visible tip of the iceberg. What makes Williams truly elite is his ability to cover the weak side, to erase defensive mistakes by his teammates, to alter shots without even blocking them just by being in the vicinity. He's the kind of rim protector who makes opposing guards think twice about driving to the basket, because they know he's lurking. And here's why that's so crucial for the Lakers specifically. Luka Doncic is a generational offensive talent, but he's not an elite defender. He gets beaten off the dribble. He loses his man on screens. He needs help behind him. Robert Williams is exactly that help. He's a safety net that allows Luka to take more risks on offense, knowing that if his man beats him, Williams will be there to clean up the mess. But what makes this proposed trade truly fascinating is a tactical wrinkle suggested in the analysis. Using Williams alongside Deandre Ayton, not just as his backup. Think about what that lineup would look like. Ayton dominates on offense and defensive rebounding. Williams operates as a roamer, hunting blocks, finishing lobs from Luka, and providing the kind of vertical spacing that makes defenses panic. It would be a modern version of the Twin Towers concept, but focus on athleticism and rim protection rather than traditional post play. Ayton gives you size and skill. Williams gives you explosiveness and defensive chaos. Together, they create a paint presence that would be almost impossible to score against. Now let's talk about the actual trade structure and why it makes sense for both teams. The Lakers would send out Dalton Knecht, Gabe Vincent, and a 2025 second-round pick. In return, they'd receive Robert Williams III. From Portland's perspective, this trade is about clearing the logjam at center and acquiring young assets that fit their rebuilding timeline. The Blazers are prioritizing the development of Donovan Clingan and Scoot Henderson. Williams, despite his talent, is taking minutes away from Clingan. He's a veteran on a team that needs to be given opportunities to young players. Trading him makes sense if they can get back pieces that help their future. Dalton Connect is exactly that kind of piece. He's a young, promising wing scorer who's still on a cost-controlled rookie contract. He gives Portland a potential building block who can develop alongside their young core. He's the type of player rebuilding teams covet because he has upside without requiring a massive financial commitment. Gabe Vincent provides veteran depth at point guard, which Portland needs, or he's a contract that can be flipped again in future deals. He's a useful piece for a team that's trying to remain somewhat competitive while developing young talent. And the second-round pick sweetens the deal just enough to make Portland feel like they're getting fair value. From the Lakers' perspective, this is about sacrificing depth for impact. Connect has shown promise as a rookie, but he's not irreplaceable if Max Christie or Austin Reeves are playing well. Vince has been a solid backup, but not someone you can't live without. Trading both for a potential game-changing defensive presence is the kind of calculated risk that championship teams need to take. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: Robert Williams' injury history, because this is a legitimate concern that can't be ignored or glossed over. Williams played just 35 games in the 2022-23 season. He missed most of 2023-24. He's had knee issues, time loss issues, various ailments that have prevented him from being consistently available. Acquiring an injury-prone player for a team that's already managing the health of aging stars like LeBron James is undeniably risky. But here's the counter-argument, and it's one that makes this gamble worth taking. The cost is low. You're not giving up first-round picks. You're not trading away core rotation players who are irreplaceable. If Williams gets hurt again and can't contribute, you've lost Connect and Vincent, which hurts but doesn't destroy your championship hopes. But if Williams is healthy for the playoffs, if he can give you even 20 to 25 quality minutes per game in a 7-game series, you've gained a defender who can neutralize Nikola Jokic or Victor Wembanyama in the paint. You've added a dimension to your defense that transforms you from good to elite. That's a championship or bust bet that makes perfect sense for a team in win-now mode. Think about playoff matchups with Robert Williams on the roster. Against the Nuggets, you'd have the rim protection to make Jokic work for everything around the basket. Against the Spurs, you'd have the athleticism to contest Wembanyama's shots. Against the Thunder, you'd have the size and vertical spacing to match their young bigs. Every potential opponent would have to completely rethink their interior offense because Williams changes the geometry of the paint. Let's also talk about how Williams would fit into the Lakers' rotation and what it would mean for their overall defensive identity. With Williams on the roster, the Lakers' frontcourt rotation would look like this: Deandre Ayton as the starting offensive hub and rebounder, Robert Williams III as the defensive closer and energy guy, Jackson Hayes or Christian were providing additional depth. This allows J.J. Redick to play 48 minutes with elite rim protection. When Ayton rests, the defensive level doesn't drop. In fact, it might actually increase with Williams' verticality and shot blocking ability. You could also experiment with lineups that feature both Ayton and Williams together, creating a defensive wall in the paint that would be almost impossible to penetrate. Imagine a closing lineup in tight playoff games: Luka, Austin Reeves, LeBron, Williams, and Ayton. You'd have size, shooting, playmaking, and defensive versatility all in one package. The analysis makes a crucial point about this being a championship move rather than a headline move. Acquiring Robert Williams won't generate the same buzz as trading for Giannis. It won't dominate sports talk shows for weeks, but it might actually be more impactful in terms of winning games that matter. Championships are won on defense. That's not just a cliche. It's a statistical reality. The teams that win titles are almost always elite defensively. They can get stops when they need them. They can protect leads. They can win ugly games when the offense isn't clicking. The Lakers, as currently constructed, don't have that defensive identity. Adding Williams would give them exactly that. There's also a financial element worth considering. Williams is on a reasonable contract that doesn't hamstring the Lakers' future flexibility. He's not a max player eating up cap space. He's a value contract that provides elite production when healthy. That's the kind of deal that championship teams are built on, finding undervalued players whose impact exceeds their cost. Let me also address why this trade makes more sense than some of the other options the Lakers have been exploring. We've talked about Herbert Jones, who would be excellent but would cost significantly more in terms of assets. We discussed Giannis Antetokounmpo, who would require gutting the entire roster. Williams represents a middle ground, significant impact without catastrophic cost. The beauty of this move is that it doesn't prevent the Lakers from making other acquisitions. If they trade for Williams and he works out, great. If they trade for Williams and also manage to add another piece like Herbert Jones or a veteran wing, even better. This is an all-in move that closes other doors. It's a smart, calculated addition that improves the team while maintaining flexibility. There's also something to be said for the psychological impact of adding a player like Williams. He brings intensity, energy, and a defensive mindset that can be contagious. When you have a rim protector who's flying around making highlight blocks and altering shots, it energizes the entire team. It makes perimeter defenders more aggressive because they know they have help behind them. It creates a defensive culture that can carry through an entire playoff run. Think about what this trade says about the Lakers' approach to team building. They're not chasing names. They're not making moves just to make headlines. They're identifying specific weaknesses, finding cost-effective solutions, and executing smart transactions that improve their championship odds. That's the kind of front office work that separates dynasties from one-hit wonders. The risk-reward calculation here is heavily tilted toward reward. Yes, Williams might get hurt again. Yes, there's uncertainty about his availability, but the cost is manageable, the upside is enormous, and the fit is perfect for what the Lakers need. When you're a championship contender with a limited window, these are exactly the kinds of calculated gambles you need to take. Let me paint you a picture of what the Lakers could look like in a playoff series with Robert Williams healthy and contributing. Imagine a Game 7 against the Nuggets. Nikola Jokic is trying to work in the post. Every time he goes up for a shot, Williams is there, contested with his length and timing. Jamal Murray tries to drive, and Williams rotates over to cut off the lane.